Welcome to this week's live stream. Really excited for this panel today. A lot of these folks don't really know each other directly, so it should be fun. A lot of them are go way back too. So let's just do intros and then we'll jump into some discussions. Hello, everyone that's joining us in the chat. Say hello, and we'll start with Mary Lou.
Hi, everyone. I was on mute for a second. I am Mary Lou Mandel. I make content about making content, and I'm like super excited to be here because when I came in, you guys were like, you know me, and I was like, I know you.
That's what's up.
Awesome. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. All right, Dan.
Yeah, my name's Dan Holloway. No one knows who I am because I'm apparently not that famous. I'm a business coach and a mentor, specifically helping creative entrepreneurs to scale their businesses online. That's what I do.
Awesome.
And I know Mary Lou because she's famous. She is famous, like actually famous.
Actually, I know.
I know her.
I know. Instagram famous. Awesome. Dean, how's it going, man? Say hello.
And it's going pretty well, man. My name is Dean, YouTube music certified. I teach independent artists and musicians how to grow a fan base using video. Well, appreciate the invite, dude.
Thank you, Dean. Awesome. And Mr. Strick.
Hey, my name is Strick, and co-host of the stream show, along with my guy Brent Collins down here. And Rob, thank you again for the invite. This should be fun today, and I'm really excited to meet everybody else on this panel, man. You always assemble like some of the best content creators, so it's going to be cool to be here this morning.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Thanks for being here, man. All right. Man that needs no introduction, Patty McGill.
Hey everyone, Paddy McGill here. I basically head up the partner team over at Restream, the online streaming platform that lets you multi-stream to 30 plus destinations. Sorry, Rob, I had to get that in there. But it's good to see everyone, and it's a pleasure to be here. Looking forward to talking all things partnerships.
No shame with the plugs, man. All good. Anybody have any Restream feedback requests? This is the time to
get it in the chat.
I'm just kidding.
The chat is being monitored.
Exactly.
It's not being
Tiffany, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me. So my name is Tiffany Day. I actually run 2 YouTube channels. So I have a lifestyle blogging channel, self-named, and then a channel that helps lifestyle bloggers monetize their influence. So I am excited to be here and chat with all of you and get to know you all more because, like Mary, I've watched you guys. So this is cool to be up here with you guys now.
Awesome. Yeah, good to have you here. This is awesome. Brent.
Hi, Brant Collins coming from you live from Little Rock, Arkansas, and I am the better half of the stream show with Strick and Brant.
Definitely the better half.
Just make fun. Strick and I have one goal on our shows. We try to help streamers succeed. And personally, I've been a content creator since 2007 probably. So, we're always trying to figure out the tech, how it all works. And I'm excited to be on this show.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Thank you. And Paul.
G'day team, my name's Paul Thompson. I am a business coach specifically for course creators. So I help people turn their hobbies and passions and businesses into online education businesses. Stoked to be here alongside a couple of legends on the panel today, and I'm really excited to get chatting.
Awesome, man. Good to have you here. And then last but not least, man, E.
Yo, what's up, everybody? My name's Alicio A, and I'm just excited to make it here on the panel for the first time because I know you invited me a while ago. So my mornings are crazy with 3 little kids, but I told the moms, I'm like, give them a big bowl of cereal and, maybe I can jump in there. So I'm super excited. I'm a full-time content creator, and I don't say that to brag because I'm this close to getting a job. I'm this close. Nah, but yeah, man, I'm super excited to be here. So let's do it.
Are you saying content creator is not a job? Come on, man.
I know it was so much easier to sit in the AC with my feet kicked up, just doing what I was told to do and just make $60,000-$70,000 a year. So, but I'm going for like way more than that now. So let's do it.
There you go. There you go. Snap. Awesome, man. Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, really awesome to be here with all of you. This is great. Awesome. We see a lot of people in the chat too. So welcome. If you guys have any questions, anything that you just want to run by some experts here when it comes to content or anything business, there's so much knowledge here on the panel. So feel free to say hello in the chat, drop your questions. I've got a few things to kind of bring up, some news, industry news and things. So, but I'm totally fine with scrapping all of those and just talking about what you guys want to talk about. So, before we go, what are some wins from everyone here? Any big wins this week? Business, life, anything?
I got a big win for you to start off, Rob. I just this past week consumed a ton of Paul's content. So to be on this morning with him is really cool. Good to meet you, sir, and love what you do online to help people that are trying to build courses. I'm going to have a course soon. It's going to be because Paul helped.
There you go.
He's amazing. Paul's the man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you. Kudos to you, sir.
Nice. Awesome. Any other wins?
I got to admit, my one was quite funny. I thought I was going to die, but I didn't die because I've had a 2-day migraine, but I survived. So my win is that I thought I was going to die, but I didn't.
We're glad you made it.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
And then
Awesome.
we can cope with this stuff and we can get through the other side, and no one understands.
Yeah.
And I got a life
I
hack for
also
you.
suffer from migraine, so I understand.
You feel my pain. Thank you.
Yes, it's so hard. Yeah.
Life hack. Don't think you're gonna die. Don't think you're gonna die.
Yeah. No.
That's never good.
Dark rooms help.
Very good.
That's a good win.
My win is the legendary Rob Balasabas is wearing my merch today. That's my win, man.
Big.
Jeez. Who do I thank for that one, man?
I'm with you on that. He had a stream show T-shirt on last week. Yeah.
Your guys' shirts are so comfortable. I mean, how can I not wear it?
But that's what I want to hear, Rob.
You gotta repurpose that one later. I was just kidding. Awesome, sounds good, guys. All right, well, let's jump into some topics here, and yeah, we'll just go. There's some really cool news this week that came through. So first one here is Facebook kind of taking a little shot at Apple. Zuckerberg saying that he's not going to take any cut from creators until 2023. Thoughts on this? Is it a big deal? Do you I guess in general, revenue from platforms themselves, even YouTube, super chats and AdSense. Do you feel that really matters? We've got Paul here. So there's a whole thought on creating your own products, right? Digital products, courses, memberships, all those things. Thoughts on that, on this news? Does it does it matter?
I don't think it's a big issue. My own personal view is that I think AdSense and that kind of style as a revenue stream, it's such a small amount, and the more saturated platforms are going to become, it's going to become even a smaller amount. I don't think it really matters nearly as much moving forward as it has done in the past. I think most of the kind of recognizable, tangible revenue is going to be from courses and affiliate content, affiliate sales, that kind of stuff, and your own products, services, programs. I don't see shares of ad revenue being a massive revenue stream for people moving forward, personally, unless you're in the millions of views.
Yeah,
I see this more as a shot across the bow to Twitch, because I think Facebook kind of focuses more on gamers. They don't even really have some of the settings you need to do, like just chats or because I have a gamer account, and I know a lot of people that are moving, that do game on Facebook, and that could make a big difference to them. Somebody donates $5 and they're getting the $5 total. I just don't see that Facebook is really catered towards our kind of content creation. They're more leaned into the gaming side.
How would you like to build? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right. You can go, man.
No, how would you like to build a platform even though Facebook is giving it for free, and you spent all of 2022 doing that particular thing, and the next year you have to change what you're doing because you built people coming to you in a certain direction that Facebook can say, hey, I'm not charging you for it, but next year, who knows what the charge would be, and you would have now you have to change what you're doing, or even increase prices just to make the difference.
Yeah, I think I was going to say the exact same thing, mate. We've seen this strategy done in SaaS products for years. Get the free trial, get started. Hey, fill out your kind of product or app kind of thing. We'll give you the first X amount free. And I think it's kind of just a part of an indoctrination process. Let's get creators on here. Let's help them monetize, give them all the profits, which doesn't matter for Facebook because they're that's an inconsequential amount for them. But just the habitual training and growing those audiences, the creators using the platform, when it does come time, like you said, it's going to be hard for them to say, well, hang on, there's a fork in the road. And I've spent all these years, 2 years building this up. Do I just ditch it and leave? Or do I take a cut and stay on the platform with what I've built? I think it's such a smart way of going about launching it. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Paul. I think it's the SaaS route. It's mass acquisition. It's the quickest way. It's the quickest way to scale it up. And by the time that people are going to be so dependent on that revenue that everyone's going to have to uproot everything and move again if they're not happy, which is like extremely unlikely. But it's also ties in, I think, to like the whole stuff with Apple's like tracking, blocking, Instagram obviously launching affiliates, their own like affiliate network now. So that this all like ties into the tracking, I think. But personally,
my background's in
a good way though to, I mean, one thing I always tell, my students and the creators I work with is this is rented land. Every time we step on social media, it's rented, right. But it's a good way to get out there. It's a good way to network. It's a good way to bring in your audience, but make sure you have something that's your permanent home. So this way, when changes like this do happen, you can funnel them into your own website and have your own prices set up, So really not relying on these platforms to build your house on, because at any time they can make changes like this. So.
My background's in broadcast media, and I've done this in TV stations years and years ago. It's all about content. That's the most expensive thing, right? Is you have to purchase content. So most of these, well, all of them are all ad revenue generated. And now the content creators are the most important part of their business, where they were getting this for free. Now they just need more content. So everybody's trying to sweeten the deal a little bit because they need people producing content because so many people are watching these platforms.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean the whole email, building an email list thing is even more important. I think there's some big things that happened with YouTube a little while ago. They changed the way that they did notifications, and then people kind of got really excited about it, that they're not doing as many notifications when there's new videos and things like that. So the conversation of email always comes up, right? Like to Tiffany's point here about like building your email list. We got Paul here. I mean, me and Patty used to be at Thinkific, so we always preached like, make sure you're building your email list, lead magnets, right? All those things, so you can control the conversation and when you're able to reach your audience, But I'm curious about the revenue side, though, right? Because this is all about revenue with Zuckerberg making this announcement. There's a bit of if you really pay attention, there's a battle for content creators. Right. There's I want to talk about the creator age. There's another article that I'll bring up later. But, TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, they're all battling for creators, right? Where the creators go, then the viewers go and the audience follows. So, curious about how this affects you or your clients, content creation behavior moving forward. Does it really matter who's going to pay the most? In terms of ads, or is it more about going to where your audience is going to be, so that you can make money on other revenue, other types of revenue? Does that make sense?
Rob, if I can just jump straight around that, otherwise I'll forget. The thing that I think here is that people are going to go because they'll see the word revenue, and then they'll go to that place, but they're not necessarily going to think that is, let's say, Facebook the right place for me to grow my audience or grow my list or grow my community, because it could be on somewhere else, could be on Twitch, it could be on Instagram, it could be somewhere else. So I think people are going to just see the buzzword of more revenue and stuff like that, but they're not necessarily going to think. And I think that's just the majority of creators, and probably more the new creators that are getting involved. And that's not really that's not a bad thing. That's just people not really knowing all the info straight away.
I mean, really and truly, I think it's always best to follow where your audience is. Like for me, I mean, I'm on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. But of course, if I post something, then that post sort of get buried on Facebook. But with YouTube, it's a lifetime. You can just go and search for that content. And just yesterday, I had a meeting, and we're planning to do like this webinar thingy with a group of independent artists and whatnot. And the best place to do that, we decided to do it on YouTube. Now, every platform has their own revenue systems and all that stuff, which I respect and I understand. But I also try to live in the moment and try to be very intentional. So for me, for my company, we just try to focus where the drive is, where that audience is, and then we try to scale from there. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's good. Cool, awesome. Any other thoughts on this one before we move on to the next article?
What do you think of the quality versus quantity argument? So, I mean, if you're dangling the carrot of, cash, basically, and if that draws like a high volume of people trying to take a slice of that pie, what happens when it's such a high quality people just looking for the dollar signs, but actually the quality of the content is just a high volume of low quality?
Isn't that's
working
Twitch
for TikTok?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's just a concern, isn't it, for a lot of these platforms?
They don't care. They just want acquisition, right? At the end of the day, the VCs and the companies that have backed them, they're measured by user like a lot of the time it's user acquisition. So they like everyone's been saying this is content, them buying content creation. So yeah, like I don't think that they necessarily care. They just want the numbers. As long as people are on there creating something, doesn't matter if it's good or not. Like as long as people are doing it, because I guess the theory is that someone will find something they like if there's enough of it.
So right now it's just a land grab.
Well, on a higher level, you're seeing the same thing with Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and all these people, right? Taking all these. Back in the day, I wanted to be a filmmaker. You couldn't get these kind of deals, right? I always imagined it would happen, but now if you have a decent kind of movie, you can get some distribution on Amazon. But they're all trying to make deals and buy content. Content is king, and right now we're in this golden age of content.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious about Instagram too. Maybe Mary Lou being the Instagram expert in the house here. Mary Lou, what do you think about this whole thing when it pertains to Instagram? There's the creator. Actually, I'm not really familiar with the new program that Instagram's rolled out for creators and stuff. But like, what do you think about that in terms of monetizing on Instagram?
Well, I think the affiliate thing is going to be good because it's just if they're giving more opportunities for creators to make money, then why not? Because all of them eventually are all going to be able to help people make money if you are creating content, like good or bad. Because what I tell people who are starting all the time, I'm like, it doesn't have to be good. Just start doing it, because the thing that you make in 3 seconds while you're like sitting on the toilet is more likely to go viral than the thing you spent like a month making. So in those short form things, like the longer form things maybe are a different game, but like the affiliate stuff is a good thing. And like with Facebook and this, trying to lure people in, I'm like, sure, if you want to go over there, but like really just go to where you want to spend time, because I don't like to spend time on Facebook. So I see that and I'm like, great, y'all have fun. But like I have fun on Instagram, so I stay there. I have fun on YouTube, so I stay there. Snapchat was also doing a thing trying to encourage people to post things, and they're like, our top creators we're giving away like $1 million a day or something like that. And I was like, but I don't like hanging out on Snapchat. So sure, y'all have fun, because there's enough of us out there and there's opportunities in every which way. And like, as I think somebody said at the beginning, like the AdSense revenue, these kind of things are so small in the bigger sense of where you're actually going to make money as a creator, that it's like, where are you going to actually go and want to make more content, not just where's the money, this like small portion of the money.
I think that the focus should be, I'm going to repeat what Paul and Tiffany has already said, man. Finding a way to control your content is the key. Getting started on some of these platforms and liking to use these platforms is great. That's step one. Step two is finding a way to move them some kind of way onto your platform, your website, to your material. And that has to be the game plan in the beginning. I really think that has to be the focus, because, Facebook and all of these other social media, they could do what they want to do. They could change one thing and it could, your whole business could fall. But if you have a way to, the email addresses and they're going to your website, you got them. Those are your people.
Yeah. Awesome. Sounds good. This is really good. Yeah, good insights here. I'm going to go into another article that's kind of related to this. So I'm going to just share it on the screen here. All right, so this came out actually yesterday on TubeFilter on Creator Upload. Does a video editing app's popularity signal we've entered the creator age? There's so many
I'm so excited about this because I recommend CapCut to everyone because not everyone who's trying to be an entry level creator knows Premiere, knows Final Cut Pro, or even cares to do anything on a computer. But this one, I've tried every editor on the phone, and this one is free. And it doesn't have ads all over it. It can do so much. And it's made by the people that make TikTok. So that's why I was oh, no wonder it's good.
That's cool.
That's pretty smart. Yeah, I'm more of a Windows Movie Maker 10 type of guy. my video editing. And I could just about trim the ends of the is it the bumpers? Is that the technical term? I think I've got it right. Am I? But yeah, actually saying that, did anyone see Loom? Use loom.com. They got the new and R removal wizard. It's actually amazing. So you record your video, you go back and it just edits out the straight away. Really good. Just go check it out. Nice. I mean, it's simple enough for me. Again, I'm a Windows Movie Maker type of guy. So if I could use it, anyone could use it.
That's cool, man.
Those thumbnails that you make on Paint, man, they're killing it. So working. Any other thoughts on this? The more, I guess when there's demand and there's, people make things. So there are a lot of video editing apps. This is CapCut. There's tons of other ones. So this whole article is basically saying have we reached the creator age? The majority of kids these days select creator as their profession of choice when they grow up, all of these things. So, are we there? Is this a creator age? What does that even mean? What's your thoughts on that?
I think we've been there if we think about it. It's not like we're going there. We've been there forever. And it's funny because, being a millennial and Gen Z coming up and saying oh, these are our platforms. And I heard a joke and it was yeah, but we created those platforms, without us, Gen Z wouldn't have all this. But it's crazy because I think I did read an article and it said 67% of the youth right now says content creator. It's, do I want to go to college or do I want to start a YouTube channel? It's so crazy.
Yeah. I was actually hosting a Twitter Spaces room earlier today. And this question actually did come up about, what is a creator? And it was really funny because it made me giggle because I thought about Rob and the fact I was going to be with all these awesome people today on this stream. Because someone said creator is basically what influencers are calling themselves now, because influencer is considered a dirty word. And I was I thought that was a really interesting way of looking at it, because there are some people who think, I'm a creator, I'm awesome. And they see it as a career. Other people see creator as just another way of saying influencer, and another, fake kind of FOMO and fake vanity metrics and everything. Interesting. I think it's a real lack of understanding about what it actually is.
As a traditionally, go ahead. Go ahead, Ron.
Don't be shy. It wasn't me.
Okay. Well, I thought it was Ron. As a traditionally trained artist, I went to school for fine arts and graphic design. I learned how to edit reel to reel. Back then it was, the first Avid. I got the hold of the very first Final Cut 1.0 that kind of started my career in broadcast. But still, then you were building, $100,000 Mac to do it all. And so now you can do as much with LumaFusion on your phone. But we saw this with desktop publishing. Everybody had MS Paint. And if you were in graphic design in the 90s, everybody was making their own cards. They were crap, but everybody made them. And it kind of went through this phase, and then it kind of went away. And I think the video thing will too, because it takes a lot of effort and learning to become a good editor, become a good creator, host. All this stuff takes a lot of practice. So a lot of people will come in and try thinking they're going to get rich quick, but see who stays with it, for the long haul.
It's definitely not easy. Yeah. You can be a content creator, but it is work.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's an easy app or not, it is still work. Creating the content, editing, making sure everything is right, doing it the third time because you missed the cut, And what happens is over time, when you put work inside of any kind of job, people get tired and they fall off. And you would see a lot of people, because of the pandemic, we're at home. There's a bunch of people that, hey, I could be a content creator. I got extra time. Let's get on YouTube. And then as the economy opens up, they got to go back into the office. I believe you're going to see more people come off the platforms as far as how often they create content, because at the end of the day, it is hard work to be consistent, to do it over and over again, and to try to better yourself along the way. So you're creating content, you're learning, you're editing, and it's hard. So, people may see that it's easy, like us getting on here and talking about it is real cool and everybody can see us. But when we leave here and we have to do the next phase of our day, it could get a little, we get busy.
Yeah, but the thing with these with the kids though is that this whole new generation has had cameras in their face since they were born, have had Instagram their entire lives, where we're all adults, we have not had it the internet our whole lives. They are in this already. So this for them, being a creator is the same as I want to play baseball. It's just their thing that they do. Being and they're of course, when you're a kid, you're I love to play this sport. I'm going to go pro in this sport. So I feel like that's kind of where the younger generation is. They're yes, I want to be a content creator because that's where me and all my friends have fun. And then maybe they go pro. Maybe they don't, but they're not going to know that till they're an adult. But it is a different game than what we make, where it's yes, it is hard. It's a lot of work. We know marketing, we know positioning and branding and all of that. But they're just I'm cute and I went viral. And then they're a content creator.
Well, I think their expectations are different too, because my son, most of what he watches is YouTube creators playing Minecraft. So what he expects as he grows up, he's 11 now, but I don't think he's looking for high quality content, right? He just loves the guys doing wacky stuff about Minecraft.
And where we grew up, we're used to seeing, I think whenever YouTube first started and I was looking at things, I was oh, it has to look like TV, because that's all I've grown up seeing is TV and movies. So it has to look like TV and movies if it's on a screen. But this generation has grown up seeing content only made from phones, seeing content that looks like it's personal. It's somebody sent you a FaceTime video. And their standards are different. So the entry level is different, because they're wait, I already have all the tools to do this, where we didn't necessarily at first. The filmmaker, who was the filmmaker? Brant. So Brant was, he came from traditional filmmaking and all of that. So we're thinking broadcast, we need to have the camera, the mics, the lights, the studio, the people to run, the edit, all of this. But they're oh, wait, I just make this on my phone, because they already know how to do it. And they're 5, because that's their video games.
That's true. If I can quickly jump in, quick thing, my son was born sort of 10 weeks early, and so he was in the NICU unit for quite some time. He's better now and he's back. He's doing great. But my wife started to upload her journey in the NICU with a couple of videos of my son. Unfortunately, he had his mask and all these wires. He looked like a cyborg baby, but coming back from time, and So anyway, she uploaded this video and it absolutely blew up on TikTok. Nothing I've ever seen before. She got 250,000 views within 48 hours. And now already her following is growing. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm make sure you comment, make sure, you give meaningful replies back to people. But because it blew up so much, she's at the end, she's I can't do this anymore. She goes, I can't keep replying like this. And I'm no, you've got to keep going. Let's go. Come on, keep going. Don't stop. Because she's always wanted to do something cool like that. But now she's got it. She's yikes, it's a lot of work.
Right.
Yeah. Let me jump in there real quick. So yeah, I wanted to say, as far as like the topic, as far as like the creator age, what I'm most excited about is now I can actually say what I am, because for the last 10 to 15 years, I've been a content creator. And when people say, hey man, what do you do for a living? Or what do you do? And all these years I've been skill stacking, learning how to edit audio, learning how to edit video, learning how to do lighting, and learning how to do all these things, interview people. I didn't know I was skill stacking over all these years. And I couldn't give nobody a straight answer on like what I do for a living. It's like, I just do a bunch of stuff that's dope and people pay me to do dope stuff. And they're like, well, what does that really mean? But now that last year, content creation is the rising small business, is the number one rising small business type in America. I think maybe even in the world. I can say with proudness, I'm a content creator. So yes, we are absolutely in the content creation age. And I love what everyone had to say. And one thing I want to say is anybody aspiring to be a content creation, I'm a trained chess player. So it's like, if content is king, we hear this all the time, content is king. Well, consistency is queen. And we know in chess, what wins the game? The queen wins the game, right? So like you have to be consistent. And I love what the young lady said about being, are you going to make it to the pros? Like everybody go viral. I've had viral videos, you know what I'm saying? I've hit 1 million views on one YouTube video before, but not everybody who goes viral gets, money off of what they're doing. So it's actually a strategy to it. It's actually, some systematic approach to what you're doing and where you can be successful to it. So are we in the content creator age? Absolutely. And I'm super excited about it, to tell a business, hey, you can spend money on these Facebook ads. I can run these Facebook ads for you. And you have a budget of this many amount of money, right? Or we can go get this content creator, right, and pay him half that budget. And you see double the sales, right? Only because you went a different approach from doing Facebook ads to just the influencer content creator approach. And I'm super excited about it. So didn't want to take up too much time, but yeah, we're in that age, man.
Yeah, that was good, bro. That was good.
Everyone
really
is loving
good.
your skill stacking here, man. You need a shirt for skill stacking.
There you go. New shirt for Alicia Way. Hey, I watched a YouTube channel. There's a gentleman that we know from IK Media that has a show. He works with a lot of musicians, and he did an interview with Sean Stockman. And if you don't know who he is, he's one of the men from Boys to Men. And I grew up, I loved Boys to Men. But what he was saying is, when he was coming up, he had to go the traditional route. You had to go to big studios. And he just point blank said, you can do anything with your phone now. So kids today just need to keep putting stuff out. And I think that's one thing that we are in that world of, put that stuff out. You can get, discovered. You can get, you're going to have to learn. Not everything you put out is going to be great, but we do have the most access ever in the history of, the human race. I mean, you're live everywhere. You got video. You can do more with this computer in your hand than I could with a computer 10 years ago.
That's true.
So true.
I think that's what I was going to say before. I think it is a creative age because of that fact, because of the accessibility that we have to tech and gear, and also the ease and functionality of like reduced learning curve to be able to edit and produce content. Like just going back and thinking about the tools we used to use in school as kids kind of thing, there was no way that we could have access to that kind of film and TV equipment, or like even graphic design stuff. And the stuff that we did have was either like created for a juvenile or was created for like some high-end multi-six-figure ad team kind of thing. There was nothing in the middle. So I think that it's become not only accessible, but then it's also been culturally just kind of not accepted, maybe encouraged to really share or document our lives, through this. It's always this innate kind of feeling, I want to take a photo of this, I'm going to shoot a video here, or I need to capture this moment, like capturing all these moments. And then we're left with all this stuff. Well, why don't we share it and pass it around? And we couldn't do that 10 years ago as easily as what we could do now. And so I think that's just like a natural progression of where we're headed. And I think that's why it feels like we're in such a creator age, and where kids, like, I forget who said it, was like, these kids have grown up with a phone in their face. Their mum is looking down with a phone taking a photo. So I think that what where else were they going to go with that? Other than take the phone and create something really fun. So yeah, I'm really excited too. I'm super pumped about it.
Classic example about what you were saying, like, one of my friends, they feel so subconscious about, man, I want to do this, IG thing and this YouTube thing, but I just feel so weird about having my phone in my face all the time. I feel like people's looking at me, and I'm like, well, let's do a case study. Let's go to the park, right? And so you don't feel so awkward, and let's count how many people have their ring light on a tripod at the park, and we counted about 4 people, so you don't have to feel awkward anymore about it. I love what you said. It's like, it's socially acceptable now. As a matter of fact, it's almost to the point, and I know with me now, they see somebody who's out there doing influencer type activities with like ring lights and this and cameras and stuff. It's almost in my area. It's like, oh, that guy's making money. He's banking right now. So it's not even neglected. It's kind of like accepted. And then people are actually asking you like, hey, can you help me? Can you help me figure this out? Mm-hmm. So I love how you said it's actually socially accepted now. That's absolutely true.
I had the first.
There's like a meme I saw. It's just like these 2 pictures. Like, first they'll wonder why you're doing it, and then the next thing's like, next they'll wonder how you're doing it or something like that. Like,
I love that.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I had Google Glass when they first came out. I got awkward, so I know that feeling.
Hey, I just want to quickly say, so editing is not my strong thing, right? So guys, do not be afraid to outsource. I just want to throw that out there.
True.
Like, I finally hired a video editor and a graphic designer because I just suck at it, right? And OMG, since then, like, my company completely like skyrocketed. So don't be afraid to outsource, because I'm not a pro like these dudes these people on the stream, man. So that's what works for me for sure.
Who outsources editing here? Anyone or?
Man, these are pros here.
Oh,
I'm the outsourcee, not the outsourcer. Yeah. And that's my thing. Like, so many people, they talk about being a full-time content creator. And one thing that just blew my mind was you don't have to be the full-time content creator that's necessarily your content is what you're producing. You could legit out here make 6 figures in your sleep just producing content for all of these small businesses just trying to convert online, and all of these little brands that need content. So if you can't make 6 figures yet creating content for yourself, if people not really vibing with your content per se, you still have the skills, right, to produce content for these other businesses and make a freaking killing out here in these internet streets. So yeah.
The secret, guys. Oh, go ahead.
No. Please.
Yeah, no, just to bounce off of that, I know earlier, and it's funny, I watch you guys like influencer, but we all do it. And I myself, I came into this world as more of an influencer, but I just did, a blog article for Social Blue Book, and there is a difference between an influencer and a content creator. And the biggest thing is influencers are really focused on the vanity metrics because we have to be. We're working with brands, we need that reach and stuff. And content creators are focused on more behind the scenes. They're the producers. They are the, like he said, they are creating content for not just their stuff, but for other businesses. And where you really need to land, especially if you are a younger generation coming up into this, really have a money mindset and really be the hybrid. Be the influencer or an influential content creator to where your platform is where brands still want to give them the stuff because they create high quality content, or, they make content for all of these businesses, but they have a reach to where we can pay them the big bucks, and, they will take off and help our business grow too. So really being that hybrid and be an influential content creator behind things.
That's a good point.
I like it. Now people are trying to get to that influencer and to have those matrix and to have the numbers so they can get the brand deals, but they've missed the process along the way, which is what Alicio talked about, which is if you do have a talent and if you can't edit, I believe that's the secret sauce. Like that's that's one of the jobs as we create more that's going to grow, being an editor or connecting with a company that can edit. We will all pay for it if we could. If it was reasonably priced, I guarantee you more people would be doing it. But if you did have part of your business was a way to edit for people, as you are growing as a content creator, I believe that's a great secret, a great tool to have, and another way to monetize what you're doing to be a content creator, to have your own business, and to make your own, I guess, schedule during the day. So,
and you're sharpening your skills on somebody else's dime.
Exactly.
Exactly. On that note, it's so interesting you mentioned that. I did my own podcast earlier today with a client, and he's got just under 800,000 followers on Instagram, and he talked about the way that photographers are using their content and kind of outsourcing it in really interesting ways. And there are companies that will pay you to kind of license your photos on puzzles. And I was like, man, I've never even heard of that before. And he's like, yeah, where do you think they get all the photos for these puzzles from? And so you don't need this huge influential audience to get these deals with collaborators and like puzzles and magazine companies. And it was just like blew my mind. I was like, oh yeah. So he's like, you don't have to have 50,000 followers to make a couple of grand a month, taking photos for these companies. And then the other thing you just mentioned in there, Strick, was that when, or maybe there's a little bit before we were talking about outsourcing video content and editing and things like that. In my industry or like the online course space, that's like a huge hurdle for people because they're like, hey, I want to create these videos and these educational, instructional videos. I have no idea about the techie stuff. I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to record kind of thing. There is an entire marketplace and ecosystem just bubbling away there with people just desperate for help in compiling. And we're not even talking snazzy transitions or anything, crazy. It's just like Patty said, just chop the ends off it and upload it. Like someone would literally pay you to do that. So there is always going to be someone that's going to need that type of support. And I'm personally looking for people all the time to refer to say, hey, go and take this to them and they'll edit it for you.
Yeah, a good editor is really hard to find. Like, like somebody that gets your style and everything and, understands, whatever platform you're creating for, because every platform is different, right? Like when you edit for LinkedIn, it's different than when you edit for Instagram Reels or YouTube. So I'm finding a lot of people are not letting other people know who their editor is. It's like they're like kept secret, it's like their secret weapon.
Does anyone use... sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I was just going to say, does anyone use or has heard of services like Design Pickle, where you pay like a flat fee per month and then you get... this is more for like imagery and stuff like that, but this is not a product, by the way, but there is the services like that. So does anyone use or has used services like that? I haven't.
Like Video Husky and those
kind of do you think it's worthwhile using a service like that, or is it better to get an editor or someone that really knows you sort of inside and out?
On that one actually, because I know a couple of people who have used those kind of platforms, and some that I know have used them and have absolutely loved them. Others I know have used them and have hated them. But actually, what I think the people who hated them, it was them that were the problem, not necessarily the outsourced service. Because I mean, has anyone read Daryl Eve's book, YouTube Secrets or whatever it is? I can't remember what it's called. I loved the opener that Mr. Beast put in there, because he said very much like the very similar thing to what I say to my clients all the time. And people come to me and they're like, I want to make 6 figures this year. I'm like, okay, are you ready to run a marathon? They're like, well, there's so many people who can do it really quickly. Can you get me to do it quickly? I'm like, no. It's like, you've got to put in the effort. And Mr. Beast said he understands the audience. He makes content specifically rough because that's what his audience likes. Yeah. He doesn't outsource nearly as much as he could, or potentially some people think he should. But he's like, I've made, thousands of videos, and then until you've made 100, then come to me and tell me it doesn't work. But if you just make 5 or 6 or 10 or whatever, go back and do the other 90. Because it's basically a marathon, not a sprint. And people have done it before you, and if you're not willing to put in that kind of level of effort and you're just looking for the quick win, then frankly, you're going to struggle. I mean, I'm sure Paul probably experiences the same sort of stuff that I do all the time. People are looking for quick wins all the time, and they don't exist in our world.
I think when it comes to making decisions for like your content, your channel, things like that, you have to think: do I want to go deep or wide? Right? Am I trying to go wide or deep? And that will help you understand, like, should I go this route? When it comes to outsourcing editing, For some people who just focus on going wide, outsource an editor. But if you're trying to go deep, you have to understand editing is about pacing, tempo. It's about all these little different subtleties that you can't really get if somebody else is going to do that, because of course they're not in your brain, right? So I was talking to Brian G. Johnson, one of my mentors, and he was like, he outsourced it for a while, but then he stopped doing it and he started editing his own videos. And I believe he did that because he's a super smart person. He's seen a better retention rate and better response from his audience, being that he started back editing his own videos. So it just depends. Are you trying to go wide or deep? If you want to go deep, I would definitely suggest you just skill stack that skill, right? Learn how to edit your own videos till you get to a point where you just can't. And then I get it at that point. But for the most part, you're full-time content creator or aspiring content creator, I think that's something that you just kind of have to, count that into, the journey.
Mate, just on that, you picked up on there where people want to take that shortcut and outsource everything. And Patty talking about Design Pickle, one of the pathways that a lot of people are trying to take at the moment is they have one big video and I'm going to send it to this company that's going to chop it up and it's going to repurpose it into all these social videos and captions and blog posts. That usually doesn't really work as effectively as they hope it will, because the quality of the content doesn't capture any of that kind of the sales or the copy techniques in there, and it doesn't really get them. It's just filler content. And so like you were saying, mate, like instead of going wide and trying to outsource everything, maybe go narrow and just work on one great video a week instead of trying to do 5 or 6 outsourced bite-sized videos kind of thing. And it depends on the strategy. Do you want like volume or do you want sales? Do you want to be famous or do you want to be rich? Like you've got to kind of pick your battles there. One more thing on that Design Pickle. A lot of people are outsourcing to agencies based in, South America, the Philippines, Indonesia, where the thing that I don't like about going to one of those companies, and I don't know, Design Pickle might be different, but one of those companies is the agency that you're outsourcing to, they take the full amount, and then the team of individual contributors are only getting like half of what you're paying the agency. And so, from already a low value of kind of financial monetary, you're giving these people, agencies to do the work, they're getting like half of that. I don't know. It doesn't really sit too well with me. I'd rather someone get paid what I am thinking I'm paying them, than someone taking half of it off the top and still getting the same outcome. So I'm just wary of a couple of those sites that do the whole, hey, pay $400 and you get 50 pieces of content this month kind of thing, or unlimited edits or whatever. I'm just kind of, I would like to know how they're running.
Maybe go directly.
Right.
Yeah. For sure.
It's like Rev.com, isn't it? The same sort of thing. I mean, they were in hot water when they started changing their revenue stream, or their payment model, sorry.
But that's what Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok are doing to us, right? We're pay us cheap on a bunch of content, right?
Oh,
and make as much money as they can.
Hey guys,
sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I thought on editors, if you are considering outsourcing at some point, do try to learn a little bit about editing yourself first, because then you can communicate more with your editor as to what it is that you do want. And also you understand what the struggle is when you're like, can you do this? And because I've been the editor for people, and they're like, make it like this. And I was like, well, that's going to take longer than you think it is, or it's not really worth it, or, understand a little bit of what that is and anything that you're going to outsource if you can, because on the client side, it's very easy to be like, well, just make it look like a movie. And it's like, well, but you need a movie budget for that.
Exactly.
That's a different thing. Like, we can do it. It's not going to be for cheap.
It'll be $1 million. Okay.
That sounds like a great idea for a free online course for a video editor. That would be an awesome lead gen. Imagine doing that, having a little mini course saying, hey, here's our outsource to a video editor. Go through it, and then at the end of it, by the way, if you want to send videos to me.
That exists. I think that exists. I think Justin Brown has a course like that.
So nice. All this talk about editing, guys, is giving me a headache. I love to live stream. Do your live stream.
Really?
All right, do your intro, talk live. You could mess up. You could put up a wrong slide. Who cares? You're live streaming. Talk to your audience. And when you're done, put up another string that says I'm ending the show. It's really simple. Forget the editing. Let's just go live.
Totally. That's what I suggest to everyone, is to do live to tape. because
Yes.
especially these new people, it's like,
Yes.
and I think Rob and I like he discovered this from me, that I'm like, I do my 3-minute, 5-minute tutorials. I still do those live, and I don't do the hour-long live where I chit chat with everyone. I'm just like, hey y'all, here's a tutorial. Have fun. See you next time.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, Marilu, do you have a video that shows your process on how you do those interviews?
I'm actually building that out as a course.
Oh, there you
She'll
go.
sell it to you, Rob.
Yes.
Well, Rob already knows. He got to see it from the inside, but it's like it's very simple.
That was really good.
Paper.
Hey, we're trying to be full time, so I gotta
That's right.
Awesome. Okay, there's a couple other things. I know we've got a little bit of time left before the hour is up, so I'm just gonna throw this up here. There's two things. I'm just gonna throw it up at the same time, and then we can just kind of chit chat about it. So there's the WWDC, the Apple updates. So that was one thing I wanted to see if anybody's excited about any of the updates, anything exciting. I mean, also. The video is so good. This video that they've got, this is one of those movie type of videos that Apple made here. And then the other thing was kind of related to what we've been talking about here, is just like there's more views basically on YouTube and Facebook versus TV. So not surprising, but another article that came out a little earlier this week. So just happy to, any thoughts on either? Anything exciting about Apple that you're like, yes, there's always new toys from Apple, but or
I think a lot of people were upset because they didn't have the new. Everybody was hoping for the new MacBook Pro 16-inch, but if you really, I watched the whole thing. Some of the nuances that they're put in are amazing. I mean, I just got the Rocketbook, and that's really cool. But now Apple's going to say like, hey, you can just take a picture of anything, and it's going to turn it to text. And I understand that Androids and all these other things have been doing it for years, but there's just a lot of integration between all of the platform or all of their different OS devices, and just kind of sweetening everything up, making it all work better together. And I think it's really, it's going to be a really good time to get all these new M1 products.
I think they do it well. Like they it's almost seamless the way that they do their stuff, and I think that's why they always do things. They either are the first or they're the last. I think that's what Marquise Brown says on his channel. He was talking about that, and he was showing the text editor, and I was thinking to myself, well, that's been on Android for ages, but then when you actually see it, it just works. What did they say? It's like magic. I'm not an Apple guy, but I was extremely impressed. I
think the privacy issue too. If you look at, we have an Alexa, and my wife doesn't like to use it all the time because you talked about something and you're getting these ads and everybody's, but if you look at the HomePod and the iPhones and all that, they say it's so powerful. They're going to keep all of that language, all of that is going to be happening on your phone locally. So you're not sharing data into the cloud. And I think that's pretty amazing, so, that's what's really going to change the game forward, is if we're all locking down our privacy, is, how does the ad game catch up to that? But, it's where content creators are going to be important, right? You're going to follow the content people you like, not the algorithms.
This is where they sell that. This is where they're locking in all the people, and then they're going to then allow just certain brands or businesses to get access to it. Like they're creating essentially their own ad network in a sort of roundabout way.
They open subscriptions for iPod, for podcasts. So I wonder if I'm waiting for Apple to make a platform or a way for us, right, the content creators, to do videos. So if it was to Apple TV and we can make subscriptions, that's probably what will come next, and that will be very exciting for content creators.
You can actually do that at the moment. Like you can create your own app or your over the top video services. There's a company actually called Uscreen that lets you do that. But there's also other companies that let you where you can. We're talking $100, they can let you create and publish an app in the Apple Store. But how good is with your own videos and your own live streams, having your own personal Netflix. But how good would it be? Obviously, it can be questionable, and obviously it's a time effort thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
just like the fact that you can now send a text message, or you can take a photo. And you can do that long press thingy and just you can look up the location, you can add music to it, and I like that update. And I got a text yesterday that my new iMac M1 should arrive today. So I'm
There you
super stoked about that. Like, whoop, 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 whoop.
There you go.
Yeah.
Unboxing video
They-
coming soon.
They showed some AI, video stuff too. You take a picture, the AI is going to match it with music, do the edit, turn it to
So
black
hot.
and white, upload it. So that's going to change content creation, I think, too. So, but I'm a big Apple fanboy. So
The only thing is, I don't know if the music is copyright
the
free.
licensing,
or-
that was my question.
I didn't see that anywhere. I was like, sketchy. So I'm a little bit leery on that.
I kind of looked at it as maybe it's like the, back in the day, the iMovie free music that came with it. They just kind of ported that to your phone, and
Makes sense.
hopefully that you'll have some licensing for that. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I really liked the Spotlight search feature in Mac OS. So now you can just write beach and it will pull up all your photos
That's
with a
hot
beach
too,
in it,
dude.
or
Yeah.
like dog, and it'll pull up all your photos. So especially for like an Instagrammer, you can, instead of naming all your folders and stuff, if you're thinking about that one photo, it'll pop it up. I think that's it's going to help me for my organizational skills that are non-existent.
Nice.
So we're talking about Apple. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
We're talking about Apple and the AI. I have one confession to make. I have allowed my Apple phone to do the edits in memories. I just put a whole bunch of that day's videos together or photos together, let Apple do the edit, and then posted it. So I'm sorry, I did that.
Yeah.
So my phone did the edit for me. So
Strick, you're calm, bro.
I'm just telling you.
Strick's not really here right now. It's his Apple. It's his phone.
Yeah, I'm not a super Apple fanboy either. I do have their stuff because for work and stuff, but I did take advantage of these little things, what they're called, AirTags, because I'm constantly like losing stuff. So I got a bunch of those, and I love them. How you can just press a little button and just like beep beep beep, you hear where it's at over the house, and I love that.
Nice.
Hey,
Awesome.
I got to say this towards one of the other topics, Rob, was about how we're using people where they can watch Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
When I mentioned earlier that I consume a lot of Paul's tutorials and stuff, it was actually on my television using the YouTube app. So I think if creators could tell their community, hey, if you want to watch me, I always say this in my shows, the best place to watch me is on television. Download the app, whether it's on Facebook Live app that you can get, and then just search the name. And all of our videos, you could just find them on the Facebook Live app on your smart television or the YouTube app. And come on, guys, it's better to watch it on television, the 50, 60, sometimes 80-inch screen than watching it on your phone. I look better in 80 inches, I'm just saying.
No, that's super smart.
I was thinking I'm horrified at the size of my head on a 60-inch TV. Jeez, Strick, sorry about that, mate.
Embrace it, man. You look good. It was the content that I was glued to. I was eating lunch on the couch, watching TV, trying to learn how to build a course.
Man,
Nice.
I want to throw one out.
Realize where people are watching your content from. So this way you can also, when you are doing your edits or outsourcing your edits, you can say, okay, someone's watching on a TV. They're going to pick up on that little mistake that I could have gotten away with on my phone, So really like paying attention in your analytics, where is my audience viewing my stuff at? So I can optimize it for that, space for them to make it enjoyable. So you get that retention rate.
that's good. Yeah. If you're going to be on if your audience is on TV, you definitely want to be in 4K. You don't want to be fuzzy faced around here.
I want to throw one thing out to Rob, just to the group. So we talk about the age of the content creator. I don't know how many of you watched it, but I watched Logan Paul, like Floyd Money Mayweather, and and I watched it with my 17-year-old daughter, and she has no idea about boxing, but she knew who Logan Paul was. She doesn't like him and what he stands for. So she was, rooting for Floyd. But then she got excited about watching boxing. And I told her, I said, that's why they do these things. It's all about attention. That's one thing we don't talk enough. We talk about platforms and logarithms, but it's attention, right? And, Logan had this huge amount of attention. Floyd has attention. They came together, made a ton of money. And they brought a whole new group of people into boxing and maybe a whole new group into YouTube. So, it's about, and it's billions of dollars that they made,
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I never thought I would see a day when a YouTube guy just fought, at the top of boxing. And
I read something that they made 30 million just in the promo of the fight. They made like 30 million a piece just promoting the fight. That's crazy, man.
All about that attention.
Yeah. What a time.
That other slide you had about 70% more watching on YouTube and Facebook. That is absolutely, I know that's absolutely true. And that is why a lot of the budgets, the major mainstream budgets and stuff have shifted. I know you've seen Amazon just bought MGM. Was it MGM that they bought? Or yeah, that's crazy. So, I mean, just imagine the impact that's going to have as far as some of those, old flicks that's going to be on there. As far as even the ad placement now is going to be crazy. So I can definitely see, for anybody like into the Amazon influencers program, I can definitely see them merging like your live streams, the top influencer live streams with like real television type stuff and real show type stuff. So I think some interesting stuff is coming down the pipeline. But when you think about 70% more people watch YouTube and Facebook than TV, then that really brings up an interesting dynamic, and it really gives so much power to the creators and the influencers. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to be over time here. I want to respect everyone's time. You guys are all super busy, and I appreciate your time here. So we're going to cut it out here for the week, but it's been really awesome. Anybody have any last words for parting words for everyone out here today this week?
Rob, I just want to personally and publicly appreciate you, bro, for always. I'm serious, man.
Let's put you on full screen while you say it.
Yeah. Put him on full screen.
Rob,
Come on, Dean.
I just want to publicly say, man, I love you, dude. I appreciate your heart. You're one of the few people, man, that's consistent in my life personally. You're constantly adding value to my life, bro. You build communities, and you're not afraid to stay in the community and just lift up that community. I'm a part of that community, and I personally appreciate you, dude. I want to publicly say that. I love you to life, bro.
I love it, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Patty, you're next. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I appreciate all of you.
I'm follow up Dean because we'll all be crying.
No, thank you so much. You guys are all awesome. You're a part of my community, and I know that the community here on my channel appreciate a lot. So everybody out there as well, everybody tuning in and hung out with us this week, thank you so much. Make sure you follow everyone here on this panel. All the links to their channels and LinkedIn and YouTube's are down in the description. So yeah, it's been really fun. Learned a lot, and we'll see you all next week.
Peace.
Bye, guys.
Shouts out Ash.